crafters and friends, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Deepa Robbins from DeeZinesByD, and I have the second to last installment of all of the beautiful collections that were released this month by Spellbinders. This one is the Pie Perfection release by Tina Smith, and this one is a doozy. I love these cute little edible type dies because they look so yummy you could actually eat them. And for this one, it's all about pies and pie ingredients. So I have a few cards that I made for this release, but I'm only going to be focusing on the first one. You can catch the reels for the other ones on my Instagram account at DeeZinesByD. So the sets that I have to show you is the Serve a Slice set here that creates your slice of pie. I have delicious decorations. These are all of the cute little ingredients and pieces that you can use to dress up your pie. And this is the Dish It Up set. This has like a plate and all the little utensils that you can use to eat your pie. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to be creating an alcohol ink background, and I will be using some alcohol pearls today. And I'll be using a red, a green, and a purple. And these are just nice autumn colors, I thought. And I know that we're getting into spring, and you're probably thinking, oh my God, how can you be thinking of autumn? It's just getting warm again. But when I saw these pie dies, all I could think of was pumpkin pie. And I know that the delicious decorations set doesn't actually have a pumpkin in it. But it does have a couple leaves. It has a maple leaf and an oak leaf, and I thought that would be perfect to create a Thanksgiving pie. So I thought that these colors would work perfectly to create a autumn Thanksgiving card. Now, the sentiment I have on here is a thankful one for Thanksgiving, and I don't actually have a Thanksgiving sentiment, which would have really come in handy here. But I really think that this pie die could be used year round. You could create some Christmas pie for Christmas. You could create some summer pie. I mean, one of the cards that I made here is what I like to call spring pie because I put a whole bunch of cute, beautiful little flowers around the pie. And I think that it could just really be used for a lot of things that you may not think of right away. So I'm going to go ahead and continue this background. You could see I'm making it very vibrant. I'm creating lots of deep colors. I'm adding lots of that alcohol pearl, and I'm also adding some pinata brass ink. I find that the brass just looks really nice. It creates a nice warm look, which is what you like for autumn. So that's the final background you get. Now, to move on to the actual card, I'm going to be making a twist pop-up card. So in order to do this, I have a panel, which is the front part of my card. It is 5x7, and I am scoring it right along the diagonal there. I'm not thinking too much about measurements or anything, just from one corner to the opposite corner, I am scoring it here. I'm just kind of playing with it to kind of make sure it's going to do what I want it to do. And you'll see how it comes together, and I'll explain it more as we move on in this video. So I didn't want to keep that panel plain. I wanted to add some embossing. So here's the embossing folder for last month, and I'm just going to put the panel in there. And it's important to score it first. Like, I like to score it first just because that score stays there. And you can see that once it's embossed, you get this beautiful floral background here, which looks beautiful. And that fold stays in there. So now I'm going to go ahead and cut out all of the little die cut pieces. Here's the pie from the the Serve a Slice set. And I actually cut, so the inside of the pie is orange. The main portions are white, which I'm going to add color to. And then the actual topping part, I cut from copper glitter cardstock, which I showed you earlier. Here I'm cutting out the utensils. I've got the plate from some white shimmer cardstock and the fork from some gold mirror cardstock. And this is a process that I do a lot. So I keep my negative piece from my die cuts. I add some washi tape on the back to make it sticky, and then I inlay all of the little pieces, and then I add ink to it. So I'm using some oxide inks here. I'm using some tea dye, and then I think I'm going to use some walnut stain to just create a variation of brown on here. So you know, when you cook your pie, like portions of the crust are a little darker than others. So that's the effect that I'm trying to get here with the two colors of oxide inks. You can see when you pull it out from that negative piece, it actually looks really realistic and stunning. So now I have all my pieces here. As I mentioned, this was that glitter cardstock. It's actually like a sticker. So it's got like a backing there. So I can just kind of peel this off and attach it where I'd like to. And this glitter paper is actually from Die Cuts with a View. I really like that it has that sticky backing, so I don't have to worry about adding glue. I put together the two pie pieces, the top and the bottom, or like the side, and then I will add the crust. I'm adding it with some glue to the edge here, and I wasn't too sure how to put this together at first. It probably should go right onto your piece, but I can't really do this for this twist card. So I just added some washi tape on the back. You could use some other type of tape, anything to glue those two pieces of pie together. And then I'm going to add that beautiful crossed topping or top of the pie crust, and then that cute whipped topping, which I propped up with some foam. Now here is the Glimmer Autumn Wood set. This was from last year, I think, what was it, October 2021, and it's got all of these cute little leaves that you can foil along with the coordinating dies and a couple sentiments. I'm going to go ahead and foil these with some Spellbinders polished brass. That polished brass works perfectly with the piñata brass that I used for the background. And as you can see, I also cut out some little leaves, which were from that Delicious Decoration set. So here I'm adding the coordinating dies. And the cool thing about this set, there are a couple sets like this by Spellbinders, whereby it cuts out the foiled image right to the very edge. So you don't get a white outline, which sometimes looks really nice, and it comes in handy for coloring on top of these die cuts like I'm doing here. So I've listed all the colors of Copic sketch markers that I'm using. I'm just adding some beautiful reds and greens, some nice fall colors to color in these beautiful leaves, and then that one cute little acorn. Now, I forgot to mention earlier that those small little leaves that I did cut out from the Delicious Decorations set, that was a piece or a Yupo panel that I had added alcohol inks to before that had some nice greens and browns in it, which would work perfectly for this card. Now, as for the panel, we're going to cut it into 4 pieces. So I'm going to cut it at 2.75 inches, and then I'll take those pieces and cut them at 1 3/8 of an inch. So that creates 4 identical sized panels, which if I line them up, they are going to basically create that original panel I had there. Now, eventually I do kind of end up cutting them down just a little bit more. I think I cut maybe about an 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch off of each edge of all 4 of these panels, just so that it showed some more of the white through. And you can see here I've kind of staggered them on this this folded or twist panel card. And now when I attach each panel, I'm going to make sure that I'm only adding adhesive to the panel on the right side of that score line. So everything that's on the right and the bottom half of the card is where I'm attaching these panels. Everything to the top and left of those of that score line, I'm not adding adhesive, and this is what's going to stand up. So because this is a twist pop-up, if I do adhere it, it's not going to twist pop up anymore. I'm going to have to end up bending those panels. So that's what I liked about this idea, is those panels kind of stand up and still keep the shape of the card when you twist pop up the card. Now I'm adding my little dish and the pie, and I'm making sure that when I do add it, again, the adhesive is only on those alcohol ink colored panels. That way I'm not sticking it to the white portions, so I'm not going to have to worry about this not twist popping up like it's supposed to. So those are the 2 main things. Make sure that it's not going to be adhered to anything on the top left-hand side of that diagonal score line. So once I've got this done here and I've kind of organized the little leaves and the acorn, I'm adding those one of the cute little leaves that I cut out from the Delicious Decoration set to that whipped topping. This really indicates this is a fall card. And then I have 2 more of those pieces that I've cut out, and these are important. As you can see, I've attached them on the inside of the card, and this is what allows my twist pop-up card to actually stand up. So once that's done, the card is pretty much complete. I'm just going to add some bling on here with my AB Crystal Nail Art gems. I love adding these in groups of 2 to create a cute little design on the little plate and the fork and things like that, which is a little tip I picked up from Yana Smakula and watching her beautiful tutorial videos. And there you have the final card. As you can see, it twist pops up, those little panels hang off the edge, and it looks scrumptiously good. Now here are the other 2 cards that I created. Here is that spring pie card that I created, and that first card that I showed you was just all of the cute little decorations from the Delicious Decorations set to create a sweet birthday wishes card. So if you've been inspired here today, go ahead and check out my blog, which is linked in the description below. All of the supplies that I've used are listed there for your shopping pleasure. I would really appreciate if you buy through those links if you were inspired by me. Any and all support is very much appreciated. On top of that, there's a more detailed description of the second 2 cards, and don't forget to give me a like and subscribe to my channel to see some more inspiration. I will be having the second part of the collection posted after this. Have a great day, guys, and I hope to see you again next time. Bye.